NOAA certainly recognized as has a very tight cyber operation. So hats off to you all for that. Give us the state of where you all are on your zero trust architecture journey.
Similar to Shane, I think a lot of the things that are identified in the zero trust strategy by the OMB directive, these are not new things. These are mostly good IT and IT security practices. So I think a lot of organization has already been down towards that journey. It just now is being brought under this one umbrella and really being categorized as a set of initiatives. So similar to Shane, NOAA started a single sign-on journey, right, to make sure that we had phishing-resistant MFA across the board. There are challenges here at NOAA because we have a combination of federal employees, associates, but we also have commissioned officers as well as foreign nationals that are within our ecosystem. So things like typical CAC is not a end-all be-all solution for us. So we have to make sure our identity solutions are FIDO token compliant, et cetera. But nonetheless, right, focusing on the identity pillar. And some of the previous initiatives, right, CDM phase 1 really addresses the devices with now some caveat changes. Identity pillar, CDM phase 2, they used to call it, right? So we have already kind of started down that journey. A lot of the stuff under the network area, previous directives, either it be 1801 for encrypting HTTPS traffic, or it be some of the previous E3A type mandate for some of the strategies organization had for consolidating DNS queries or doing encrypted DNS. So NOAA's been in a situation where we've adopted all of these previous directives and done so with some rigor. And what that has allowed us to do is when M2209 dropped, we're like, well, a lot of these really match up to previous initiatives, but there are tweaks that needs to be had. So from our perspective, a lot of the mandates that are in the directive, we feel pretty comfortable with, and a lot of the areas we've already made a ton of progress, but it is a little bit of tweaking that we have to do in the previous roadmap that's been established. So here at NOAA, we've been really looking at the current roadmap that all these programs and service providers and enterprise service providers within NOAA and what has to be tweaked to align to M2209. And some areas are relatively small gaps, but some areas are definitely a little bit larger. And as Shane mentioned, data pillar is probably one of the most challenging ones, because even though a lot of the government organization has a COI policy, within their organization in the last 2 years, some of the technologies associated with things like automated data categorization, et cetera, in theory, right, they're supposed to work, but in practice, there's a lot of false positives, and there's some challenges there. But some of the emerging technologies and machine learning, right, hoping that would aid in that area. But similar to Shane's organization, we see that being one of the more challenging pillars, given that there hasn't been many previous initiatives that we could rely on.